Guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jordan. Every day on this channel, I teach people how to make money and have more freedom. If you like money and you like freedom, then subscribe to my channel, smash that like button. Let's get right into it. So, what I want to talk about today is the pain points of a web designer. And let me just give you a little bit of background, tell you a little bit about my story. So in 2016, I was let go from a really good job. It was my first job after college, and I was working for an AI startup, right? This AI would actually talk to people through email, and it was actually a really cool experience working as a web designer for this company. But they got a bunch of investment, and long story short, they fired all of the designers to optimize the business, right? And at that point, it was actually a blessing in disguise looking back, because it was a shove in the right direction, because I started freelancing. And I wouldn't be where I am today if it weren't for that experience and actually going off on my own, getting my own clients, and actually being in control of my own income and my own destiny, really. Destiny, I don't know, is that too cheesy? Anyway, the point is that you should be in control. If you're a web designer today and you are freelancing, you have your own web design business, it's because you wanted control. You wanted more freedom in your life. And I want to continue to point you in the right direction to get that freedom. And this whole video is about joining my free Facebook group, right? It's free, Free. I'm not going to charge you anything. I'm not going to sell you anything in the group. I actually want you guys to join right away. It's Rank and Bank, building passive income websites. You build, monetize, sleep, repeat. I'm the only member right now. I created this yesterday. I'm really trying to get a bunch of people in here, a lot of web designers who are interested in building a passive income. We can help each other. I'm going to provide a bunch of free value, post some videos, and really teach you a large component of actually making a passive income with websites, okay? And as I continued my journey into freelance, I started going up the value ladder step by step, right? I was already a website designer. I've been building websites in WordPress for over 10 years, but it was actually pretty difficult to get clients because I didn't understand the value or the business or the value ladder, as I said, of how to actually get those clients, right? So I started pretty low value, which is, branding, logo design, graphic design, some brochures. And then as I started getting more and more confident with my offer and actually drafting up contracts, putting together proposals, I started to move into the $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 range of these websites, and I was getting more and more confident with myself. The problem is that there was massive client turnover. Literally every client that I acquired, I would do the work for them, they would have their logo, they would have their website, and then that would be it. I would collect a paycheck. It was very feast and famine. I would be looking for the next client, right? And I would have to survive on that paycheck. Maybe I had a couple clients at the same time, so I had a little bit of cushion, but it was still very feast and famine, right? And I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to this. You're always chasing that next payment, that next project to keep your business moving. And it was very stressful, right? I remember just being out at bars and thinking like, oh, like with my friends, can I order that next drink? Or should I really try to save because I haven't had a client in 2 weeks, right? So it was very, very difficult to think about all of that day in, day out. Where is my next paycheck coming from, okay? Another pain point of web designers is that these two are actually kind of related. There's low value clients and they're unappreciative. It's super funny because a $500 client, a super low value client, is going to take up more of your time and not appreciate you as much as a $5,000 client. You think it's counterintuitive because, the other person's spending more money, but the person spending money, they actually appreciate your services and they trust you and they respect you as a professional. The $500 client, they're going to be calling you, texting you late at night, telling you to make changes. What happened to this? Did I get this? they're a pain in your ass. I'm sure you guys have all had these types of clients, and it's because you didn't charge enough, right? You need the value of whatever you're charging to sting just enough to where they will respect you, and you're actually getting your values worth from that project, right? No one wants to do a race to the bottom. No one wants to compete with, India basically in selling $50 websites one time, right? That's not conducive for working as a web designer, at least in the United States. Okay, so it's super important to know your worth and to actually charge enough for that work. But you're still going to do client turnover and you're going to be chasing that next payment. Okay, so the benefits of building a digital asset is that you actually own the asset. And what is an asset? So an asset is a website, a super simple website. And hey, before you guys send me to the lynch, and hey, before you guys send me to get lynched over this design, let me explain, okay? I know it's not a great design of a website, but that's not the point here. So what I actually talk about in my course and what I will be showing you guys in the free Facebook group that you should join right now, the link is in the description, is that you want to keep things simple when it comes to building digital assets, because the main point of these assets is to generate leads or calls or form submissions or customers for a local business. And to do that, you got to keep things simple. Not only for scalability, so you can create hundreds of these things, but also for simplicity. As you can see, so this is actually the same client. This is my client in Indiana, and I actually sent him leads first. That's how we first started getting talking. And then secondarily, I worked on his website. Obviously, this website has a lot more going on. There's a lot more design elements going on, icons and whatnot, sections being broken up, everything you would expect in typical website design, okay? This is super simple. The only thing you want people to do with a lead generation asset is call that phone number or fill out the form. So I just had my content writer write me up some content, and this site's built in Elementor. I probably built this in about an hour, okay? This site right here has been paying me $1,000 per month for about 2 to 3 years, and it's great, right? It's super simple. Obviously, there's a lot more work that needs to be done on the back end when it comes to SEO and ranking and all that, which I will talk about in the group. But the point is to keep it simple. And you can't over-design these things because it will just slow you down. And success really loves speed. Money loves speed. That's the whole point, right? So you own these assets. It's truly passive income for life as long as you have a client attached to it. And it will get phone calls if you're ranked in the area, okay? So it is extremely passive for life. And you have no client turnover, because suddenly you've moved from the value ladder of being all the way down here at branding and web design, and you've skipped past the SEO and the Google ads because you're not actually convincing a client to do an SEO campaign or to run Google ads to get leads. You're leaping right beyond that. You're doing the entire marketing stack for them, and you're giving them a solution to their problem. Typically, their problem is they need more leads, they need more customers. And that's exactly what you're giving them, right? You don't even need to show them the website. You just need to show them the phone calls. You need to show them the form submissions, and that's it, right? So you have very little client turnover because the value that you're providing is much, much higher than just being a web designer. It's much, much higher than just being a graphic designer or even an SEO, right? It is much harder to convince. I mean, I still haven't been able to convince my client right here to spend, $1,000 per month minimum, probably $1,500 per month to do SEO on his own website, right? Isn't that interesting? They would rather pay for leads rather than doing a longer term strategy for their own website because they don't know how it works, right? SEO is one of those things that takes so long It probably takes 3 to 6 months to really get a website ranked. That people are so short-sighted, they don't want to be spending that kind of money up front with little results, right? So that's why you start with lead generation on your own website. So then you can just upsell them on, website redesigns and possibly, SEO in the future once they start making more money. So I hoped all of this stuff helped. It's a super short video. Just wanted to get this out to you guys. I will be growing this community. I would love to have you guys in here. Of course, I do have a paid group, and Nick here, he's actually, he's a badass, totally like getting after it. He's only been in here for a couple of months, and he said the first lead gen site that he created is doing very well, averaging 100 plus calls per month. And the guy is super happy with the extra revenue. He has 3 other websites producing a fair amount of calls. He's struggling a little bit to find someone to handle the business. That's totally fine. Ran into some security issues with WordPress. Who doesn't? I actually started using Duda recently, which is a pretty cool web designer, website builder rather. And he even says it's a high ticket niche, which is super interesting. So getting 100 calls for a high ticket niche, he could probably sell this thing for 2 to 3 grand, like easy per month. So that would probably replace some of your jobs right there, right? With one website. So you can see the power in all this stuff. Here's Patrick, who said, came from zero background building websites and generating leads. After getting our first website up, we were able to rank. They strive to be as good as everyone else in this group. And for sure. So we have all walks of life in here. People who have been doing website design and they just wanted to mix in some passive income. And then people who had absolutely zero background building websites or generating leads, and they're off to the races, right? But before you join my paid group, I want everyone to hop in the free group. I'm going to be providing a ton of value in here. So yeah, join up, ask questions, and let's just join together, be a community, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.